Trailblazer's back. Water pump. Love the gauges. Sun's going down. A couple weeks ago, we did blower resistor. That's all working good. Oh, she's angry. A couple months before that, we did power steering lines. And now the water pump is gotten a major wobble. So try to limp it to the shop, which isn't too far, so that's good. But yeah, gauges. You love these GM gauges, early 2000, mid 2000 aughts. They kind of do what they want to do. Tack works. One of the only gauges you don't really need. Speedometer would be nice. Oil pressure would be nice. It's got all the oil pressure. But yeah. So gas gauge. Oh, gas gauge doesn't work anymore. That's cool. I hope the owners track it somehow. The gas gauge legit doesn't work. There's been many vehicles I've driven with no gas gauges. You gotta have a good book to write everything down. Okay, we will pull this baby in the shop and try to get a water pump done quick before all the snow on the roof melts off. Over to the shop, and there we go. Minnesota is roast. We got the Trailblazer. Trying to get the snow off in the shop. Couple things. We got a little extra blow by going on. Everything's kind of well lubricated on the side here.
A little.
We'll see what's what. But the water pump is what we're after today, which we've replaced it at least once. We'll have to look at the book and see. Maybe more than once. They're just little guys in here. Couple bolts. Then the fan goes right there. And then we get a fresh gasket. So we will get after that. So part number, we have a Trailblazer that needs a water pump, CP5097. This is an 05 or 05. So I think they only made one gen. I know there was revisions to the 6-cylinder Atlas, 4.2 liter. There were revisions, I don't know, 07 or 08, but I don't know if water pumps changed. So, okay, we are getting after it. If you're wondering how to tell if you need a water pump, if your water pump wiggles like that, you need a water pump. Never forget, Minnesota is roast. Okay, we're thanking ourselves, our previous selves, from being in here. We may have notched out the radiator shroud to make it so you don't gotta pull the rad out first. Nope, close. So now we gotta get right there. So if you know, you know. We got the pulley loose from the water pump, but now we gotta get that off the fan. This is a clutch fan on here, thermostatically controlled. And so we gotta break that guy loose. This is pre-electric fans. We gotta break it loose. So how do you do that? You have a big wrench that you smack with a hammer. You gotta find the right one that fits first. And this is how you do that.
This is not gonna work.
Is it loose?
Nope.
So, to get that crazy bolt off of there, we put a flat bar. So, you've ever had the pleasure of taking a fan off of that big bolt right there, and she's wobbly. Here's what we've kind of found that works decent. Some kind of a flat bar, thank you Harbor Freight, on either a couple bolts on that pulley or something like that. And then we put the big dog on that nut and then hitting it with a head blow or a hammer or something like that.
Or also just putting an immense amount of torque on it will also just work.
So I'm a big fan of doing the shock, doing the hit.
I'd rather just use the big... I just like to put 2 big wrenches on it and just loosen it like that.
So
If we were gonna do the track method more often, we just buy the air hammer accessory to do it the right way.
which we don't have that yet. So we took our universal serpentine tool, drilled an extra hole, whoop, and then this was able to kind of wedge against part of the pulley, and then that went in one of the holes, and we got it right out. The nice thing about getting it on is it self-tightens, so it's really easy to get on. We're getting close. Now we're down to the water pump finally. So the bolts that hold the fan on are 13s that hold the fan on. Right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Our pulley is stuck on there a little bit, but she's coming. There we go. Ding. And then we're down, supper time. And then we're down to our water pump right there. So, for sure, that's an aftermarket one that we put on years ago, for sure. And it is not so good anymore. But the new one is less bad. Is that a word? Less bad. And we'll get that installed. And tomorrow, we got a power steering pump and our other Suburban, right? What just happened? That's where you keep the screwdriver. Shooting through your pocket. Okay, new jacket next Christmas. There we go. Gotta make that one last the rest of the winter. Oh boy, these Atlases are wild. Great big 4-valve aluminum head. They're pretty wild. But okay, we're getting after it. Okay, old unit, new gasket. Yeah, it makes noise. That makes no noise. Old gasket in case we needed it.
Did we put a new pump on, right?
And she goes right there in the hole. Did we put a new what?
Did we put a new pressurization pump on?
We put one on. Did we put one on? I don't know.
Did we put one on when we put the lines on?
No, we just did the lines. I think. We'll have to remember. So, new one going in. How many bolts? 5? 5 bolts. Little teeny guys. Perfect. Right there. So we got the shroud kind of sort of back in place. Is it stripped out or is it going?
Yeah, it's good.
And now the fun part is getting that big nut, which is attached to the fan. We gotta get it further back and then onto the front of the water pump. And once we get it spinning on, then it should be good. So a little bit more close quarters here than V8, but we're getting there. So while we wrap up here, we got to use our first Band-Aid box. Ouch. Some of that plastic is sharp. We got that. We got the shroud put in. Got the bolts put in for that. We got the pump in place. We got the fan in place. We got the wire for the fan connected. And now, when you're doing these bolts, you have to find a way to wedge something in between a couple of the bolts to hold it in place while you tighten those. And if you've done that, you know what I'm talking about. If not, it makes sense when you look at it. You got to get in there to hold. You want to hold the pulley while you turn the bolts on. There you go. So hard to get in there with the camera. Not much more to wrap up here. We got to top it off. We got to get some 50/50 in here. We got a radiator put back together. And you know what? Might even change the oil on this baby before we're done. Might even change the oil.